So I'm going to go 2B.
It's a little bit of a darker color, not quite as brilliant as 2A, but you're still looking, you can still see, almost read right through this wine, indicating those thinner skinned varietals. A bit of a pinking with that watery rim. The cherry is very, very pronounced in this wine. It's a red and a black cherry component. Bright, ripe fruit characteristics. There's an orange blossom and almost a cranberry juice note. It's almost a Jolly Rancher cherry type characteristic. Not as much as the savory components, but there is a very delicate violet or a kind of a rosewater characteristic that comes through. I really appreciate the palate a lot more on this wine. Bright, clean, very balanced, very round, nothing sharp or angular out of place. I appreciate that bright fruit characteristic. There's a little bit more complexity, I think, to this wine. The acid on this is a medium acid, medium plus acid. Alcohol is going to be medium, and the tannin on this is going to be medium as well. Very balanced. I actually prefer wine 2A, or I'm sorry, I prefer wine 2B. A little bit fresher. I really enjoy that violet and that rosewater characteristic that kind of lifts the aromatics and the high tone and that fresh fruit.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with a lot of your assessment. I think that there's a little bit more fresh acid in 2A, but I find 2B to be equally pleasurable, a little bit rounder, softer. I think they're pretty much equally complex, and I think they're both for these are both Rhone blends around that $10 price point. I think that either one of them would be a great little drink. I mean, I like them both for different reasons. If you had to, if you forced me to choose one, I might enjoy the acidity of 2A a little bit more, but I think these are both great. I mean, I would drink them both. So yeah, they're good. Reveal?
Hand me the scissors and we'll.
You want to try these ones, or you want me to go after them?
You seemed to do well the first time.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna see how if we can get these guys a little bit. Goodness gracious. Okay, so I've done 2B first. 2B is the Llano Estacado 2007, and 2A is the La Vieille Ferme Rouge. I believe it's the 2006 vintage, or is it 2007? 2006. It's been confirmed. I also, just a slight correction, the 2000, the Viognier, the Brennan Vineyards, I said earlier was 2007. That was actually 2008. So, but these wines, yeah, okay. So 2A was the Rhone blend, and 2B was the.
So kind of a split bag on that one.
Yeah, the melange. Cool.
Awesome.
Right on. All right, let's
move on to the third flight. Please pour 3A and 3B.
Okay. Do you need another round? You got glassware there?
Good.
Okay. So 3A.
And this is going to be the Sangiovese tasting.
And 3B. Okay. So 3A, bright red color. You can see through it. It's very clear and bright. It's got some rim variation going from that ruby red core out to a slightly pinking rim with a little bit of an orange meniscus and a clear water band. The viscosity is medium. There's minimal staining of the tears. The wine is clean on the nose. There aren't any flaws to it, but this is definitely, there's a very rustic character to this wine. So there's an earthy rusticity to this wine. We've got a very ripe red cherry fruits, red raspberry, cranberry, even a bit of a sour cherry. There's a lot of clove and cardamom spice, a real charcoal minerality to this wine. There's a real earthiness going on here and some notes of wood aging, like a toastiness that would indicate wood aging. On the palate, the wine's clean as well, confirming all of that sour cherry and the cranberry, lots of red fruits going on here. That rustic earthiness to it, like a mossy forest floor, an overturned earth forest floor, and some that charcoal, a little bit of that woodiness as well. Really complex, very complex wine. I think the tannin is medium to medium plus. Acidity is medium plus to high. Alcohol's around medium. It's I think it's a very, very very well-made wine. Yeah, and I think this is a great example of Sangiovese. Let's go on to 2B.
We actually have a question that just came in. Is there a Texan Sangiovese called Spaghetti Western?
You know, I don't know of one, but that is a good idea.
And I think there should be.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I don't know of one specifically. Texan winemakers, much like winemakers from around the world, are playing with the different marketing terms right now. We do have a Super Texan out right now to complement the Super Tuscans and several things like that. So that's definitely something that we'll be looking out for. Also, what we're going to be doing, and we can go back and do it real quickly for Flight 1 and Flight 2, is giving you the retail prices of exactly what these are going to be. So the Brenham Viognier is a $19 retail, where the Yalumba Eden Valley Viognier is a $17.99. So very, very similar there, $19 and $18. The Llano Signature Melange is an $11 retail, where the Laville Ferme Rouge from the Côte de Ventoux is an $8 retail. And we'll give you that information as we open everything up now. Thank you for your questions. We appreciate them.
Yeah, we'll also add those price points to the tasting notes that we email at
Absolutely.
the end. Okay, so I've tasted through 3A. I'm going to taste through 3B now. So the color is a little bit more of a brickish red, not so much of that bright ruby, but a little bit more, turning a little bit more towards a maroon color. Similar rim variation, moving from that ruby maroon out to a slightly oranging rim with a watery meniscus. Viscosity is medium, and there's not very much staining of the tears here. On the nose, the wine is clean. There are no flaws. It's ripe cherry fruit, more of a maraschino cherry, a ripe jammy strawberry, again red raspberry. There's a vanilla flower and a vanilla bean character to the wine. Much softer, rounder notes to it on the nose. Not as much of that earthy, rustic minerality. There's a touch there of a clay or a dustiness, but it's definitely this is a fruit-forward Sangiovese.